Imagine that you wake up with a life-threatening illness. You go to the pharmacy and your doctor prescribes vital medication costing $10. It's affordable, necessary, and it saves your life. Now imagine going back a year later needing the same medication, only to find that the price has mysteriously jumped from $10 to $1,000, or even $10,000. The drug itself hasn't changed. Its manufacturing cost hasn't changed either. The only thing that has changed is the company that owns it. Now your life depends on paying a price that most people simply cannot afford. This is not a hypothetical nightmare. This is exactly what happened under Valeant Pharmaceuticals, now Bausch Health, reign. It's the story of a company that abandoned scientific innovation in favor of ruthless financial engineering and prioritized stock price over human lives. It's the tale of how Wall Street's relentless pursuit of growth turned life-saving medicine into a financial weapon of destruction. This is financial murder of ethics, all for the sake of the bottom line. Our story begins in the pharmaceutical world, but not in a laboratory filled with scientists in white coats. Instead, it starts in a boardroom with a vision that rejected the traditional model of drug development entirely. The architect of this vision was Michael Pearson, a former McKinsey consultant who became Valeant's CEO in 2008. Pearson wasn't a scientist, he was an efficiency expert. His efficiency model for the pharmaceutical industry was brutally simple. Why spend billions on risky R&D when you can just buy existing drugs and instantly increase their prices? This was the infamous roll-up strategy. Valeant acquired smaller pharmaceutical companies that owned essential drugs which were often off patent. These could be things like heart medications, treatments for rare diseases, or even simple eye drops. Then, seemingly overnight, they would drastically increase the prices of these crucial medications, sometimes by 500%, sometimes by 1,000%, and in extreme cases by over 2,000%. They justified this by claiming to be optimizing the market. In reality, however, they were exploiting a captive audience, sick people who had no other choice. This strategy was a dream for Wall Street. While traditional pharmaceutical companies would spend years and billions of dollars developing a new drug with uncertain returns, Valeant could report substantial growth simply by purchasing a drug for $100 million and immediately increasing its price to generate $200 million in revenue the following year. This wasn't innovation, it was financial alchemy. The company's stock price soared. Pearson became a favorite of legendary investors such as Bill Ackman, Pershing Square, and Valeant Capital. They saw a disruptor, a genius who had found a new, more efficient way to profit from healthcare. Valeant was presented as the future of pharmaceuticals, lean, mean, and highly profitable. At its peak in 2015, Valeant was valued at over $90 billion, surpassing companies that had spent decades achieving genuine scientific breakthroughs. However, this growth was built on two dangerous pillars: unsustainable debt and dubious accounting practices. Under the roll-up strategy, every acquisition was largely funded by borrowed money. As a result, Valeant's debt ballooned from just a few $100 million to over $30 billion. The company was staking its entire future on acquiring more and more drugs and raising their prices even higher in order to service that crushing debt. It was a classic Ponzi scheme. Instead of new investors' money paying old investors, new debt was paying old debt and inflating the stock price. Then came the really insidious part: how Valeant actually sold its overpriced drugs. The company set up a network of specialty pharmacies, the most notorious of which was Philidor Rx Services. On paper, Philidor was an independent pharmacy that simply distributed Valeant's products. In reality, however, it was a shadow company, almost entirely controlled by Valeant. Philidor was used to bypass traditional pharmacy benefits managers, PBMs, who might have questioned Valeant's exorbitant prices. Philidor pushed Valeant's high-priced drugs onto unsuspecting patients and insurance companies. If an insurance company rejected a claim for a $10,000 drug, Philidor would use various tactics to force the claim through or sell an equally expensive, slightly modified version of the drug. However, the most damning aspect of Philidor was its accounting practices. Valeant would sell drugs to Philidor and book these transactions as revenue, even if Philidor hadn't sold the drugs to patients yet. This enabled Valeant to prematurely record sales and inflate its revenue figures. Disguising slowing growth, and concealing unsold inventory. It was a classic Enron-style off-balance sheet maneuver designed to deceive auditors and investors. However, the cracks in this facade began to show. Journalists and short sellers, investors betting against the stock, started investigating. Citron Research, led by Andrew Left, published a scathing report accusing Valeant of being a pharmaceutical Enron and questioning its relationship with Philidor. The report revealed how Valeant was effectively using Philidor to create artificial demand and inflate its revenue. The revelation that Philidor was a secret captive pharmacy network sparked immediate outrage. Congressional investigations were launched into Valeant's drug pricing practices. The company's credibility evaporated. Michael Pearson, once the darling of Wall Street, found himself testifying before Congress in an attempt to defend the indefensible. The stock price, which had soared to almost $260 per share, began a precipitous free fall, plummeting by over 90%. Bill Ackman's Pershing Square, which had invested billions, saw its entire investment wiped out, marking one of the worst trades in hedge fund history. The company's substantial debt, which had previously been manageable thanks to inflated revenues, suddenly became overwhelming. Valeant, once hailed as the future of pharmaceuticals, found itself in a desperate fight for survival. Michael Pearson was eventually forced out and replaced by a new CEO who was tasked with navigating the company through its enormous debt and rebuilding its tarnished reputation. In an attempt to distance itself from the toxic legacy of Valeant, the company was even forced to change its name to Bausch Health. The Valeant scandal is not just a financial cautionary tale, but also a profound moral indictment of a system that prioritized profits over human health. It exposed the dark underbelly of a pharmaceutical model in which the value of a drug is determined not by its efficacy or manufacturing cost, but by the financial leverage a company can exert. It demonstrated how financial engineering, devoid of ethical considerations, can corrupt an entire industry, reducing vital medications to commodities to be exploited and leaving patients vulnerable and public trust in tatters. The legacy of Valeant Pharmaceuticals serves as a stark warning that when the pursuit of endless growth overshadows the core mission of healing, even the most fundamental ethical principles can be sacrificed on the altar of Wall Street's insatiable appetite for profit. It's a reminder that the biggest financial criminals sometimes wear suits rather than ski masks, and that their weapon is a spreadsheet rather than a gun.